the world's foremost remote viewing teacher, Major Ed Dames, U.S. Army, now retired, decorated military intelligence officer, an original member of the U.S. Army's prototype remote viewing training program. He doesn't need much of an introduction. Here is Ed Dames. Ed, welcome back.
Thank you. Good evening.
Looking forward to this. How's the family? How's everybody?
Oh, fine. I miss them. I'm back in the States now from St. Petersburg. But the last trip there was very interesting because I met my former Cold War counterparts, the Russian KGB-sized spies. So we sat down and had a coffee clash together.
How'd they treat you? Pretty good?
Oh, yeah. Treated me very well. In fact, I offered to help them out on some terrorist cases in their country.
I can't think of a better time to have you on the program with so much that seems to be going on these days, Ed. But let's do a little review, too, if we can. Killshot. A lot of people have been talking about that lately.
Well, NASA, unfortunately, in terms of doom and gloom stuff, came out with, this is not me saying it. NASA says our sun's capable of producing super flares 1,000 times stronger than any flare ever witnessed. Of course, that would fry us. And that's not what I'm saying the Killshot sequence will be. It's not going to be a super flare like that. It will be a series of very large flares that will take down power grids, and infrastructures will collapse. Governments are aware of this. That's one of the things they're aware of. Places like Denver Airport and NORAD, moving all their stuff back into Cheyenne Mountain, they know what's coming. It's an inevitability. So they're generally aware of that.
Ed, I've used your remote viewing of the Killshot along with some work of a couple people, William Forstchen and F. Michael Maloof, who have written about the power grid going down from either an EMP attack or an X-flare, and have made it my own personal pilgrimage to get this done, to get our grid insulated. We may not be able to stop a Killshot, but, man, we better do something to protect this power grid or we're going to be in deep trouble.
Well, it doesn't take that much to protect transformers, actually, but we're not doing it. That's the problem. And one thing I want to clarify, one thing about the EMPs. EMP weapon, a very large EMP weapon. There are smaller ones that are very, very directed, even a building or part of a building. But a very large EMP burst will take out sensitive electronics within the radius of about 500 miles. So it's not a nationwide thing. And those are very expensive weapons, and there aren't that many of them. So the EMPs that NORAD is worried about and that continuity of government folks are worried about under the ground in their tombs, potential tombs, are from the sun. The power grid's going down, and then social disruption as well.
Major, I'm not going to push you for a date. It's not fair. I think it's probably one of the most difficult aspects of remote viewing, and that is trying to pinpoint a date as opposed to an event. So I'm not going to ask you that. But I feel that something is getting very close, very imminent, and it could be this.
That we have not a precursor, but a highly recognizable event over the years. The best that we've done to come up with is a nuclear burst on the Korean Peninsula, used in anger by the North Koreans, and we think that's going to come just prior to this series of serious solar flares.
This guy in North Korea, the son of Kim Jong-un, this kid, he's capable of doing anything crazy, isn't he?
Yes, anything at all. And even the Russians and the Chinese have tried to rein him in, but you never know what he's going to do next.
What remote projects have you been working on lately, Ed?
Oh, some very, very sexy ones, fun ones. But I wanted to preface things tonight with a very easy-to-understand example of how well remote viewing works against enigma and mysteries. I had Lex, bless his heart, put up 3 photos for me on your website. And there was a topic that was going around. In fact, Linda Moulton Howe was very interested in this back in 2007, and it was bounced around on the Coast to Coast show as well, too. There's this thing that came to be called the dragonfly drone photos. Do you remember that? The photos are up
I do.
on the website. Yeah, I have the first photo is of one, and in that particular photograph We use that as target reference material. We don't call that thing an object. We don't call it anything. We just assign a set of numbers to it. And I did that, and I took a look at it, and it's not an object at all. In fact, it's a computer-generated graphic. There's no object in the sky. It's stuck there and superimposed between the clouds and the ground. So it's a created thing, and it was a hoax. And then I was wondering, where was the creation point? The second photo that you see on your website that Lex posted is of the actual point where the CGI program, the software, was created. That building is no longer there. It's in Silicon Valley next to Moffett Field. And then the third graphic is the principal creator's current workplace. So now that person is working at Googleplex, the Google complex up the street from the new Google campus. And I did not post the creator's residence, his domicile, because we shouldn't do that.
When you remote view, do you see structures like these pictures that we're looking at?
It depends on what we're after. Let me give you a real world example of the way we prosecute a task. We're solving for an unknown: who, what, when, where, why, or how. Some of those are known and some are not. Let's take.
Hold on, Ed. We're already at the break. Wow, this is fast. We'll be back with you. We'll go through this again when we come right back. And welcome back. Major Ed Dames with us. Ed, we were talking about some of those pictures and some of the things you can see during remote viewing, and then the break hit. So I'll let you pick it up from there again.
Well, our intention is to collect data. We really don't want to be, in fact, we do not want to stress actually clear visuals in our work, or the flow of information actually stops for technical reasons. So we're not interested in seeing anything. We're interested in describing them. For instance, I want to point out one thing, though, that's very important. You asked what projects I was working on. Mm-hmm. I had to drop a couple that were fun for me for a while because apparently ISIS has just announced that they have enough money to buy a Pakistani nuclear weapon now.
Oh, boy. That's all we need.
Yeah, they announced that 2 days ago. I have an ongoing Matrix Intelligence Agency project. It's once a month. This is a code name Firefly. My pros know about this. We check the matrix to look at the most significant current nuclear terrorist threat. So I'm switching that now to every week rather than every month because this is spooky. This is not a good thing.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, it is. These guys mean business, and they don't like us, and they have money.
We'll get into ISIS later because they just seem to pop up all of a sudden, but I have a feeling they've been around for a while, under the table doing what they were doing.
Well, we created the situation. We left the vacuum, and then we created situation where they were born. So it's the whole Middle East is destabilized now, but that's going to be part of the course worldwide. Soon, economic collapse, and things are disintegrating pretty rapidly.
Well, when the tragedy of Fukushima occurred, you said that we're going to get some of that fallout, and we have. It's showing up in fish. It's showing up along the coast of California. How bad can it get?
Oh, it's terrible. These sanctuary locations that I look at, for my family and clients, we have only one in California near where you're going on this weekend, and that's it. There's none in Oregon, there's none in Washington because of Fukushima radiation, not because of power grids going down. And if grids go down, there's only so much diesel fuel that is stored at a nuclear a reactor site, electronic, and a power plant. And if trucks can't get diesel to those plants, then they have to shut the reactor down, and that can only be shut down for a while. And if they break, like they will, if the New Madrid fault gets faulty, jumpy, there are very serious problems here. That's why I've been saying for so long, expect martial law. Expect it for any number of reasons, whether it's a pandemic, economic collapse. Don't be fooled by this Jade Helm exercise. It is what it is. It's a practice for martial law.